Stand by for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Take a look at Greg. Your go. Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday morning Stateline show.
Hey, it's Bernie. He's everywhere. Well, what I was going to say was enough, even though Uber drivers drive cars all day, they still walk to work. My name is Greg. His name is Tom. It's your Saturday morning Stateline show. Good morning, my friend. Uh-oh, I muted you and you didn't unmute you. The hand motions, though, we were talking about that. That was good.
So you mean like he walks from his house to his car? I think that's funny. That's clever. That's good. That is good.
I think it's Saturday. The calendar says it's Saturday. You're here, so it must be Saturday.
It's got to be Saturday.
It's got to be Saturday. We are trying a little something new today. We are on the YouTube live like we've been. We're also on the Facebook live, but not with the full show. So Facebookers can see me on this laptop camera and hopefully all of our audio. And the YouTubers can see you. And then when Joann comes on, they'll see Joann. No other special guests today, but I wanted to try this and just kind of help cross promote the fact that the full show is on YouTube Live. So if you're joining us on Facebook Live right now, the link is there in the description. Click on that. Join us over on the YouTube. And frequent listener viewer Sarah threw me a question that I missed last week. I don't know when she posted the question. I don't know if it was during the show or if she watched it after the show, because it doesn't timestamp the question on the comment section. I don't know why, but it doesn't. So her question was, "Hi Greg, can you explain what the lava lamp, baby head, etc. are for?" She likes my lava lamp, which was a gift from my son for Christmas a few years ago. And it's not warmed up enough to start doing stuff yet, but by the end of the show, this will be moving and grooving just like a lava lamp does.
Okay.
I've got a Captain America thing, which was also my son Noah's. I just think the Captain America shield is cool. That's why that's sitting there.
It really is cool.
I've got my Packers McDonald's cup from Super Bowl 31 when they beat
New England 35-14.
The pre
35-21. Yeah. That was it was Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe. I was like Drew.
No,
Drew.
Yeah, Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe. And that's who Tom Brady replaced.
That's who Tom Brady replaced.
35-21.
Took down Bledsoe a couple times there at the end of the game. It was awesome.
Tell me who the MVP of that game was.
Desmond Howard.
Yes, very good.
And
very good.
I don't know where that name came. I mean, I remember the game. I remember him running back a kickoff.
Yep.
It wasn't the opening kickoff, was it?
No, it was not. It might have been the opening kick of the third quarter, second half. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But I do remember. Yeah.
He was electric. He was fun to watch.
He was.
And then the baby head, when my son Kenny went to college, he went to Augustana in Rock Island. And when they have basketball games at Augustana in their field house, it's called Carver Arena. And the student section is known as the Carver Crazies. So they find out a little bit about the team coming in to play. And for those, if you don't know Augustana, the Augustana Vikings, they have been Division III finalists in the Final Four a bunch of times. Their coach is excellent. I forget the guy's name, but he's been an excellent coach. They've had excellent talent. And during the time that my son was there, they went to the Final Four at least twice. So anyway, one of the teams that was coming had a player on it, I guess, who was nicknamed Big Baby. So they came up with a whole bunch of these baby faces. You can wear this on your head, by the way. It's got a little attachment on the back.
Oh, that's funny.
So you can attach it on your head.
Was it Glenn Robinson?
No. This is only 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
5 years ago.
Okay.
So imagine a student section with like a half a dozen or more of these big baby faces, and everyone else, just kind of egging on one of the players from the opposing teams. Come on, baby, do your thing, baby, and trying to embarrass him. I mean, that must have been awesome. We went to one basketball game while he was in college there, and it was just so much fun. It was a lot of fun. Miss those days. Hopefully the college basketball season will be back to normal next year. Sounds like the Final Four March Madness and everything is going to be in Indianapolis.
Indiana, yes, Indianapolis, because Indiana is one of the states where you can have some gatherings, which is why the Colts games had them, and among other states.
So all the teams are going to be in one area, and they're going to knock it out in 3 weeks, 2.5 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're going to do like a bubble thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they did with the NBA last year.
So I guess if you win, you're in and you stay. If you lose, you have to leave. So goodbye, leave Indiana. But they're starting with, is it 68 teams?
Well, normally it's 68 and you have a couple of play-in games, but it's 64 is what it is. And then the 68 means the play-in game on Tuesday, and then the whole tournament starts on Thursday.
I did hear this year's, I should probably have known more about this before we even started talking about it, but I did hear that instead of Thursday to Sunday, they're going to be Friday to Monday.
Oh, okay.
Instead of Thursday night games, they're going to have Friday games. I don't know exactly why, but I'm not complaining. It doesn't bother me. But I'm looking forward to watching some basketball. I love college basketball. It was
I do too. And when March Madness rolls around, or the tournament, it's there's just something magical about it. First of all, the weather is starting to get better now, so you can go out in shorts and do your thing, and it's the way it should be.
I just mentioned to who was I with? I must have been with my youngest son a couple of days ago. I was like, look at what time it is. And he's like, yeah. And I said, look at the sky. It's after 5 o'clock and the sun, it's still light outside. I love it. It's getting brighter. Feeling so good.
Getting brighter. Yeah.
Let's see. We have a big number of the week this week, and I have a drum roll, right? And by the way, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, would you just comment and tell me if the audio is okay? Are you hearing me and Tom and the drum roll? Big number of the week this week is it's big enough. Big number of the week this week is 60,000.
60,000. That's good.
60,000. And the answer for the week is storage or SpaceX.
Say it again. You cut out for a second.
Storage.
Oh, storage.
Rhymes with porridge. Or SpaceX, right. Which rhymes with SpaceX. I don't know what SpaceX. I don't know.
Sissy, SpaceX.
And we've got.
I already have my pick.
All right.
I'll hold off.
You hold on to your pick.
I can write it down. I'll write it down so I don't forget.
At least one of the two stories is pretty interesting. They're both kind of interesting, but one of them's definitely more interesting than the other. Yeah. So there we go. Before we get into our little discussion about the Green Bay Packers victory last weekend, before we get into that, want to give a couple shout outs today. And as I mentioned, Facebook, we're on Facebook Live. And honestly, we're just kind of there to remind you we're on YouTube Live now. So see the link, click the link. Please like and subscribe us on the YouTube Live. Follow us there. And then I think it's just easier overall when you're watching and listening on YouTube Live. Plus the playback on YouTube, you can adjust the speed. You can listen to our whole 1 hour show in 45 minutes or even half an hour.
We'd be talking really fast then, wouldn't we?
It's a little hard to understand if you do it double time, but if you do it like 1.25 time, it's perfect. It's really, really good. Although I think both of us, especially me, tend to talk fast sometimes. So it might not be the easiest.
I've noticed I do the same thing. I'm trying to slow it down this week.
Some weeks we just have so much to say. We want to cram it all into
That's
the 1
right.
hour. If you have your Facebook app on your mobile phone device, or even on your personal computer, you may want to reset your password today. I don't want to freak anybody out, but I've heard that all the iPhone users were automatically logged out of their Facebook yesterday. And there's a whole bunch of talk about it on Facebook. If you got Facebook friends with iPhones, they probably posted about it. What happened to Facebook? Why did it log me off? And I don't know. I haven't heard yet what happened. All I know is it's not a bad idea to change your password every few months or so. So that's what I did last night, and you might want to do the same. So yeah, Facebook. Want to congratulate Hallie and Ryan on their new Caledonia home this week. Closed on a beautiful home right up there by a rock cut and near the interstate over there. Beautiful house. Their first house is their starter home. Makes me jealous because it's way better than my first home was. That's for darn sure. Kudos to them. Also, a great big congratulations and shout out to Chris and Denara, who made an offer on a house that's been on the market for a long time. They got a house under asking price, which these days is almost unthinkable. It's really hard to get a house for less than asking price these days because the inventory is still so low. Last check yesterday, I think there was 331 homes available in the Winnebago, Boone, and Ogle County areas.
That makes it a seller's market, right?
A strong seller's market, as strong as it's ever been.
Okay.
Prices and rates, home values were higher in December than they've been in over 10 years.
Wow.
They've jumped that much. So kudos. It's a shout out to anybody who's thinking about selling. It's a great time to sell. If this is it's been on your mind to downsize or upsize your living arrangements, by golly, do it now. You're going to get the best money for your house that you've been able to get in months, years, even years. So kudos and congratulations to Ryan and Hallie and to Chris and Denara and some other folks that I spent a lot of time in Wisconsin the last couple of days, showing houses in southern Wisconsin to a couple different couples, and saw a house that the basement was a bar back in the 1950s. And when I first walked in the door, Tom, this was so cool. Have you ever been into a bowling alley in Wisconsin?
No, many of them here in town, but
okay. And I'm trying to think if any in town have this, but when I walked up the stairs and in the front door, the floor was that style of concrete that was the exact same style of concrete in flooring in Corky's Wind Lake Bowl, where I grew up. The same color, the same pattern stuff. That's that kind of like the Fleck stuff that you see in today's garages, but it's almost like a marble finish. It's so smooth.
Is it called terrazzo tile?
I don't think so.
I think it is. It's the
Terrazzo's
stuff
got pattern, right?
No. No, terrazzo is it's cement, complete glossy cement with, it looks like little marbles or pebbles inside, or something like that. It's the same stuff you have in schools. It almost looks like a marble countertop.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I think you're talking about terrazzo.
But it's not marble looking. It's more like the fleck looking stuff. It just took me back. As soon as I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just like Corky's. And I grew up, bowling every week at Corky's. And you walk in the cement stairs and into the landing and then into the front door and and the whole floor all the way down, whatever it was, 16 lanes or so, was just that beautiful that beautiful cement. Anyway, the history of the house is pretty cool. Unfortunately, the house itself was kind of too close to an industrial area and not really the layout that this family was looking for, but it was really cool to see. So that was part of my week this week, was seeing a few really big houses in southern Wisconsin.
Well, that's cool. You get back up to your old stomping grounds too. So
a little bit. Yeah. Pretty close.
Yeah.
So we did something last week. I think I'm ready to share this now, Tom.
All right.
Last week we were all excited and hyped for the Packer game, and we are again this week. We're just I don't know. I still got the Packer stuff out over here, so that's good, right? You got your bear. Where's your Packer bear or Packer snowman?
Yeah.
Packer snow couple.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So
baby.
the Packers won last week. Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
And the final score was 32
to 18.
2-18. And last week, as we were prone to do, as we are known to do, we had a little prediction. What did I say before? Someone was talking about how the bad weather, it could be another snow globe in Green Bay today. Although I think things might have gotten a little better since they made this prediction a day and a half ago or so. They thought it was going to be a low scoring game, and I kind of started to fall into that thinking as well. And then I'm changing my mind on that now. So today, I'm going Packers are going to get into the 30s. I think they're going to get at least 34. I think they're going to give up about 20. So I'm looking at 34-20 Pack.
Well, and I said 38-16. Here's why. This is the main reason why. Green Bay's been jumping out to early leads, and I expect Packers to jump out to a 14-point lead fairly early, maybe 14-3, 17-3, something along those lines. So I think at halftime, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 24-10 game, 24-7, something along those lines, maybe even 24-13, whatever. But what's going to happen, in my estimation, is that when Green Bay jumps out to a lead, it makes a team go away from the run game and start going with the passing game.
I guess you could kind of say that happened a little bit there, but they kind of stuck with the run a little more than you thought.
They did, and I was a little surprised by that. But the first couple of passes, not on the first series for LA, but the second series, Jared Goff kind of threw a couple of good passes. That's when they scored their touchdown, and he looked really good. Or did they score a touchdown? Maybe they got a field goal. I'm not sure. Nonetheless, it almost was 24-10. It almost was. And it ended up being 19-10 because they kicked a field goal.
Yes. And then
remember, it was 16-10. They'd missed the extra point. And then had they gotten the touchdown, they probably would have gone for two, and maybe it would have been 24-10. I was really hoping for that. But
your prediction would have been pretty much right on if Lazard hadn't dropped that bomb. I think it was Lazard that had that long pass, and he was right there. And so if Lazard catches that, then they probably do score closer to 38. But I don't know. That was pretty awesome. 32-18, fairly comfortable game, comfortable enough that they had pretty much in hand. But it was.
You cut out for a little bit there. If you were asking me something for about 20 seconds, you were completely frozen. So go ahead and ask me again. I'm sorry.
I was just trying to kind of reformulate in my head a little bit about the flow of the game, that the Packers looked good enough throughout the whole game that they pretty much had it in hand enough. And I hope this week goes pretty much the same way. I don't know that the
Yeah.
The Rams defense
Third,
isn't well. They're at least as good, if not better, than the Tampa Bay defense, right?
well, the Rams were the number one defense, and Green Bay put up 400 plus yards on them. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 touchdowns. I mean, they did whatever they wanted to do. The third quarter has been the Packers' nemesis all year long. They're not the best second half adjusting team. Fourth quarter has been very friendly to them, and second quarter is out of this world. They had, I want to say it was like they'd scored 75 points in the second quarter throughout the season, which is really, really good. It means they've scored in just about every single second half, and they're scoring 7 to 10, maybe 14 points. So they're a very, very good team and a very well-coached team, and I don't see this as a problem tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they're going to shore up some of that stuff. Just like the whole idea that they couldn't stop the run, and the Tampa game is a perfect example of that. Ronald Jones ran roughshod over them. That's not going to happen this week. It's not, because they've shored up that part of the game. Well, I think I told you this last week. The 3 linemen, Preston and Zadarius Smith and Kenny Clark, all went to the coach, and they said, look, we have to have more of a rushing presence on this on the field. We can't just sit there, hold off, shed our blocks, and then get to the quarterback 2 seconds too late. They're killing us with over-the-top passes. And because they were playing nickel and dime defense, which means 6 defensive backs. Now what they're doing is they're playing almost like a 5-man rush, 4 down linemen and a linebacker and it's not a blitz per se. It's just that those are the guys that are trying to get to the quarterback. With Tom Brady being very immobile, it's going to work. They're not going to get the running plays that they did the last time they played, week 8, I want to say, or week 6. The other thing is you look at Derrick Henry. He got 90 yards against the Packers.
That was
90 yards. This is Derrick Henry. He was the leading rusher in the NFL this year. David Montgomery, only outside of that 56-yarder to start the game. I'm talking about in the first time they played. He ended up with only about 85 or 90 yards or something along those lines. Cam Akers last week, he didn't break 100.
He did pretty good.
Nobody has broken 100 on the Packers.
He looks pretty good.
He did okay, but some of those were passing. Yeah. Some of those are passing yards too, though, where he caught it out of the backfield and ran. But the one thing that impressed me the most is that the Packers have given up 17.3 points per game. That's it over the last since this winning streak started, which is now 7 games. 17.3 points per game. That's pretty good. You hold Tampa to 20 or under, and all you have to do is score 21, and you win the game. So this is why my prediction. Do you want my prediction now?
That's you're talking my language. This is about what I'm thinking too.
All right. Well, my prediction is 34-23.
34-23. I was leaning toward them giving up 24, which is a little more than last week. I still like that 34 number. 34-24 is what I'm going to stick with.
All right. Well, we're close, and I don't care if it's you or me that wins it.
As long as I get it done.
Well, the reason I'm going 23 is because I really, truly believe that on third down, Green Bay is going to play lights out and cause them to kick more field goals. I think they're going to get a couple of touchdowns and 3 field goals, and that's it.
The Buccaneers, they had a lot of penalties this year. There will be fans in the stands. And I think a couple of thousand more fans in the stands this week than last week, if I heard correctly.
Considerably more. It's going to be more than double. I want to say 18,000 or 19,000 fans, but that could be. I know for sure it's going to be double. So we're at least talking 12,000, 13,000. But I want to say almost 20,000 fans.
That's nice.
Here's something really funny. I was listening to, his name is Jonas Knox. He's on Fox Sports Radio. And he was talking about Green Bay having a weakness, and the weakness, of course, run defense. Well, that's old news because we just talked about why they no longer have that weakness. He also talked about Tom Brady and playing in the cold and this and that. But basically what he was saying is that Tom Brady, his record in championship games, AFC championship games, because this is his first NFC championship game, is stellar. I mean, I think he's only lost 1 or 2, and he's been in the Super Bowl 9 times. So what, 7-2, 8-1? I don't know, something like that. Anyway, and Green Bay's record in NFC championship games since Aaron Rodgers started is 1-3. So he says, advantage Tom Brady. No, it's not the same team or teams. It simply isn't. And then he was talking about the Bears and the Packers game in 2010, which put the Packers in the Super Bowl, which was Aaron's only Super Bowl win. And he said they were predicted to win that game by 7. And Chicago almost won that game in the last minutes of with a third-string quarterback. They did win the game by 7, 21-14. So, I mean, a win's a win. You can spin it any way you want.
Right. And Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He's going to be Tom Brady. He's going to be poised. He's going to do his thing. But the Packers defense is, like you said, it is not the defense of Week 6. It's not.
No, because they're going to get to Tom Brady, and he's not mobile. He's not going to be able to sit back there, eat his lunch, and find a receiver. He will on occasion, but it will not be the norm. It will be the exception rather than the rule. I'm pretty sure they're going to sack him 2 or 3 times. He'll probably even throw up some interceptions. I'm looking for 2 interceptions, probably 3 sacks, and holding the run game down to under 100 yards, because Tom Brady's not going to get any running yards. There's no way.
Right. And that's what happened to Rodgers in Tampa. He threw a pick 6, which how many times has he done that in his career? Very few times.
Very rarely.
So
he only threw 5 interceptions this year.
Yeah. And 2 of them were in that Tampa game.
2 of them were in Tampa game. Yes.
He won't do that again. Although I will say last week there was at least 2 passes that should have been picked off that weren't, that the Rams dropped.
Yeah.
And that made me a little bit nervous when that happened. So
it did. Yeah. But those 2 were at the very end of the half. That's when he threw 2 touchdowns or 2 passes trying to get the touchdown. He may not have thrown those had it been midway through the second quarter, midway through the third quarter. He might have been a little more careful. But at that point, you can afford to take the chance and go for the touchdown. So I wasn't too worried about that, because he knew he had 3 points in his back pocket. If he throws it over, or if it's, even if it's picked, fine, you don't get your 3 points. You're still up 16-10 with the ball coming out of the second half. So I wasn't too worried about that.
Right. I'm excited. It's going to be a good game, and go Pack go. Let's see if they can't hold on and make it to Super Bowl and head to Tampa. What are they calling it? What did they call it? Target Tampa. That's what they're calling it. Target Tampa.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that.
Good morning, Joann.
Good morning.
We before we get to our little weekly tour.
Am I talking football?
We've been talking football. We've made our predictions. Did you want to predict a score?
No.
That's okay.
Your prediction is there'll be a football game.
Yeah, there's a football game. I got a dog right here.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was hoping that wasn't your mid-morning snack.
There you go.
She's dunking a little doggy treat in her coffee. And
That's right. Yeah, you're not fooling us.
No. All right, let's see if we can do this. It's the 23rd day of January, the year 2021, the latest it's ever been.
In the history
of mankind. That's right.
You're awesome.
Way to go, Joann.
Can you guess how many stations are in Shell's gas station network? We'll tell you at the end of our SMS info for this week. Let's see. Let's pause on this. Discovery Center. We all know Discovery Center here in Rockford on North Main Street. They've got a new temporary exhibit all centered around Hot Wheels. Yeah.
Nice.
It's starting tomorrow and running through May 16th. It's called Hot Wheels Race to Win at Discovery Center. And they also have something called a pit stop challenge where families can try to change tires and refuel against the clock. How fun would that be with the kids? other interactive parts of the exhibit, a 6-lane speed track, and a bunch of other things to get you and your young ones a Hot Wheels fix. Before you go to the Discovery Center, though, you do need to register online.
I was going to ask that if they had to register beforehand.
You do need to register. Tickets are $11. Kids under the age of 1 are free, but the Discovery Center, discoverycentermuseum.org is the link to that. Obviously, during this whole COVID thing, volunteering has fallen off quite a bit. There's a financial burden for a lot of nonprofit agencies that have been depending on free assistance, according to local Medway President Paul Logley. Also, Lifescape marketing director Zach Satterley, he says we had to kind of stop volunteering programs because we had to balance the risk of bringing outside people in. So during this time, community is encouraged to, of course, stay home. Satterley says we cannot further isolate seniors who are already isolated. What can you do? Well, they have a volunteer program called the Friendly Caller Program. They make phone calls to the seniors under their care. So if you want to be a part of that, check out lifescapeservices.org and be a part of the Friendly Caller Program through Lifescape Services. Did you hear what Fred VanVleet did last week?
No.
You played basketball?
Was that a question for us to answer?
I just kind of curious if you saw this. According to WTVO Channel 17, Toronto Raptor and Rockford native Fred VanVleet donated winter coats to elementary students last week. The kids at Welsh Elementary were able to choose the color of their new coat. So kudos to our guy Fred. Awesome job there. And a really good time to do it too, because I want to congratulate you, Tom, and you, Joann, and everyone else watching and listening today. You made it. You did it. You survived the most depressing day of the year. The third Monday of January was designated as the most depressing day of the year back in 2005. Cliff Arnall was paid by a public relations firm to identify the most miserable date on the calendar. They were promoting a vacation company. That's who hired him to do it. And so according to, let's see, he says he's a psychologist. He's a freelance happiness guru. He says the date was based on pseudo-mathematical formulas involving the weather, debt, motivational levels, and time since Christmas.
Do you have a treat?
I do.
If you want to be happier, according to the book, The Happiness Advantage, every morning, send a friend, family member, or coworker an email saying thanks for something. There's tons of research showing that just doing that, a little email every day can make you happier. The Consumer Electronics Show, we talked about that last week. It's in Vegas every year, but of course this year they went all full virtual.
You hear that barking?
Here are the hits from this week's Consumer Electronics Show. See if any of these things turn your crank, all right? According to the Wall Street Journal, Cold Snap is a soft serve dispenser that can freeze ice cream in 60 to 90 seconds. You know how you have a coffee maker on your countertop? How would you like an ice cream maker on your countertop? I love me some ice cream. It's going to run for about
That would be nice.
About $500.
Yeah, and about 500 pounds too.
Sony has made the smallest drone able to fit on an alpha camera.
You wink or blink your one eye and look
professional photography and videos.
You can see the dog?
Yay. Are you holding a dog leash, Joann?
Yes. Didn't you see the dog?
I see the leash.
They're like, what are you doing? Do you see it?
Oh, yeah. That's
Isn't that
so
cool?
neat.
I know. He surprised me with it last
Do
week.
I have to move back further? This is Spotty.
Hey, Spotty. Oh,
Body is very
Little-
nervous.
spaniel mix.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm going to drop this and make a real. There's Spotty.
Just don't crash the camera.
Yeah.
Hi, Spotty. Oh, that's
Where are
awesome.
they from?
Arkansas?
I think it's a transport from Arkansas.
Wow. Welcome.
So
We
I'm
get a
not
lot
quite
of dogs from Arkansas.
Yes, that seems to be, they get adopted pretty quick too. So
Nice.
But she's very shy, but she's taken to me. I hate
Yeah,
to give her
everybody
the
does. Yeah.
I hate to give her the bad news that she's not going home with me.
No.
Hang in there, Spotty. Forever family coming up.
But she's got
Right.
a wonderful foster family coming today.
Nice.
They just traveled up today to Rockford.
Okay.
Is that her making that
No,
whimpering
that's a
noise?
different dog.
Oh, okay.
But one of the houses I showed in Wisconsin yesterday was a blue heeler and like a lab mix next door by the fence, just whining, wanting to be played with. It was so funny. 'Cause
Oh,
usually you go show a house and a neighbor dog might bark at you a little bit. You know, what you doing here? You're in my territory, that sort of thing. These two were just, it's like, where's my ball? Get the ball. Let's play. Come on, come over here and pet me. It's hilarious. And my couple's trying to buy that house now. I think that not just for the dogs. Do you listen to music in the shower? Are you a shower music listener?
Nope.
I used to be. I don't very much anymore because it's just not convenient. However, shower power might change that for all of us. It's a Bluetooth shower speaker, and it's powered by the hot water you use to wash yourself.
huh.
Okay.
I don't have a price on it, but when it comes out, I might be interested.
No, see, I only like music when I can appreciate the sound. I don't want teeny music on a little tiny radio or anything like that. It just doesn't do it justice.
He doesn't want wet music.
I got to have good music.
We'll see how this one sounds. Maybe it's got a Bose powered speaker. Maybe it's got some bass to it. Who knows? Samsung has something called the Bot Handy, an AI powered robot that can load your dishwasher, pick up your laundry, and pour your wine. It's still in the developmental stage, but its YouTube video is really cool. In fact, I think I might be able to show it to you. I gotta get past the commercial thing here. See if it'll let me get past this. Wait a minute. This is what am I saying? This is the commercial. Share this screen right here. Share that. So here's your little Bot Handy robot. Walking around, grabbing your dishes, putting them in the dishwasher.
Wow.
Pouring your wine.
Wow. Putting more people out of work, I see.
I don't know that's that looks pretty
Can
cool.
you imagine Walmart selling it, and then when you go to buy it, it checks you out as well? Yeah.
Give me.
Let me
your
check
card.
you out.
Yeah, I'll just scan you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, think about how many marriages that'll save. Did you do the dishes? I loaded the dishwasher. I already did. Robot. Okay, good.
Yeah.
A couple more things. If you want to make a table from scratch, what do you got to do? Well, you got to grow a tree. You got to chop it down and do all that other stuff, right?
Sounds like a lot of work.
Researcher Luis Fernando Velasquez Garcia. It's a long name, Louis. Him and his team at MIT have developed a way to grow wood-like fibers in a lab. It doesn't need soil, doesn't need sunlight. It extracts cells from the zinnia plant, cultures them in a liquid growth medium, and metabolizes and proliferates. I don't pretend to know what all that means, but it's supposedly very simple 3D printing. Cells print themselves into molds, which I guess if you're growing them in a mold, you could grow them in the mold shape of a table. That'd be kind of cool. I wonder how long it takes, but
Sure.
maybe in our lifetime, we may have the option of buying a grown wooden table that was grown in a lab.
Wow.
Don't they use plastic bottles that they mold into like picnic tables and things like that
They
as
do.
Recycling?
They do
Yeah.
have recycle certification there. It's recycling. This is just growing it from scratch, from cells.
Sounds kind of funny.
Wild stuff. And before we get to our randoms this week, kudos to the National Football League, the
You hear
NFL.
that doggy?
They announced their officiating crew for Super Bowl 55. And Sarah Thomas will make history on February 7th as the game's down judge. She'll be the first female to officiate NFL's championship game in league history. She's 47. She's from Pascagoula, Mississippi. Shout out to Kill Mississippi and the Brett Favre family down there. She's served in the position for 4 years. She's done an excellent job, and she's going to be in the Super Bowl. So Sarah Thomas.
She is really good. She's really good. She's always a side judge, whatever game she works. I think she worked the Packers Rams game.
I need to go this
And
way.
I didn't notice her. And that's a good thing. When you don't notice the refs, that means they do a good job. And I think she's a good one. She's one of the better ones, and which is why she's getting picked for the Super Bowl. Kudos. I agree. I think it's a wonderful thing.
She's the down judge, so she's in charge of the sideline that she's on with the down markers, and that'll be you'll see her ponytail. Yeah. She's blonde. I remember right. She's blonde. She's got a ponytail. She's kind of, but yeah. Otherwise, you don't know that. You're not supposed to notice the judges too much. The umpires, judges are supposed to kind of blend in as best they can and stay out of the way. Sometimes it's hard to do.
Well, this sounds like a total guy thing, but if you watch her run up the line when she's doing this with the arms, you can tell by the shape that it's a girl. You really can. Yeah. Because if you didn't know, you'd be looking at her like, wow, that dude looks like a girl. Oh, that dude is a girl. Okay.
Dude.
And yeah, the ponytail bouncing around. Yeah, Aerosmith. Yeah. But she is really, really good. I think she's very good. So.
All right, here's your quickie randoms for this week. Virgin Orbit, the small satellite launch company, reached orbit for the first time with its hybrid rockery delivery vehicle. It's a modified Boeing 747. And they reached orbit with a several companies in France, Sweden, and Israel are actively testing technology to charge up electrical vehicles while they're driving. I thought they were already doing this, so I'm kind of confused. Bulgaria, a priest was arrested for doing what? Do you know what the priest in Bulgaria was arrested for doing last week?
I don't know, handing out food to the homeless.
You're close. He was handing out something.
Uh-oh.
He was selling the happy weeds to his parishioners.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Bulgaria priest selling marijuana to his parishioners, it's
maybe they're more mellow and will give more money.
Maybe that's right. That's right. This is good stuff, Father. Here's the rest of what's in my wallet. LG's smartphone business, it really did exist or is existing. It's about to shut down though. LG's smartphone business is going up for sale. It lost about $4.5 billion over the last 5 years. I do know one person in our family tried an LG phone a few years ago and it was okay, but not great.
I have no problem with LG. I had an LG phone. I liked it. I really do like LG. But the cell phone business is just cutthroat and big business, and everybody's coming out with the newest and greatest technology, and you just simply can't compete.
It's hard to beat Samsung and Apple.
Yeah.
Google's doing pretty good with their Google phones. What else is doing well? I mean, I can't think of what else you see at the store when you go.
Motorola is still probably doing all right.
Coming back.
Yeah.
So anyway, LG smartphone business shutting down. A survey finds 52% of us have never, ever deleted files, apps, or anything else from our devices. On your smartphones, have you ever deleted an app or any files? I do it all the time.
I do it all the time.
I just did that this morning.
Okay. All right. So it's not us, it's other people.
Yeah.
You should do that. You should delete stuff off your phone once in a while. GoodSend, this is the last one here. GoodSend is a social app for direct giving. It's rolling out an interesting program which will pay expenses for underprivileged job seekers so they can go and find jobs, like help pay their gas or their phone bills or stuff like that. It's called GoodSend. Sounds a little bit similar to our meettheneed.org, only ours has nothing to do with money. It's actual stuff. But anyway, that's rolling out soon. All right, here's the answer to your question. Shell's gas station network. Do you have a rough idea of how many gas stations are in the Shell gas station network?
Is this worldwide
This
or just nationwide?
let me see if this says in the article, because
Well, my guess is 2,700.
okay, that's a good guess. Joanne, you got a guess? I think this is just
Oh,
your-
I'm sorry, I was distracted by a dog.
the number of Shell gas station
5,000.
network stations. You said 5,000. That's pretty good guess too. There are here's some thoughts. There are 39,000 McDonald's locations. That's got to be
Mhm.
worldwide, right? That can't be just the U.S.
Oh yeah, that's worldwide.
39,000 McDonald's locations. There's 32,000 Starbucks locations. Over the next
Wow.
Over the next 5 years, Shell wants to add 10,000 more to its current 45,000
Wow.
retail sites. There are more Shell gas station network sites than McDonald's and Starbucks, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Wow. And then
I
what
don't
about
even
Subway?
see
Does it
that
have
many
Subway on
Shell
there?
stations.
Let's see.
I must be missing them.
Yeah.
And a lot of these gas stations have Subways in them nowadays. You know, you see that more often.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything.
Well, the Subway, from what I understand, Subway has more fast food restaurants than McDonald's.
It does now. I think you're right.
That's been true for a long time. Yeah.
So why are they doing this at a time when oil is on the downswing? Well, gas stations are very lucrative. Each year, Shell sells 450 million snacks, 350 million cold beverages, and 250 million cups of coffee. That's where they
Wow.
their money. Most gas stations, from my understanding, make almost nothing off the gasoline that you buy from them.
It's the snack foods.
Yeah.
It's the convenience store
It's the
item.
snack foods. And probably lottery tickets, stuff like that.
Right.
Mm.
Right. So, I mean, they make pennies when you fill up your gas tank at their place, but when you go inside and you buy a hot dog or a coffee or whatever, a candy bar, that's where they're making their money. All right, so there you go. That is our randoms for the week. I had a couple other things we could get into if we have time, but Joanne's got a pet to share, and I'm going to spotlight your video so you can show us around Pause
Okay.
HQ today.
Hopefully I won't get lost like I did last week.
We'll put you on.
What happened last week? Your battery died or what?
Yeah, I had my iPhone here. Do you want to take the dog?
While she's walking, everybody, I'll just throw this out there, kids. And I'm sorry for the Facebook
sorry,
Live.
I didn't mean to
folks. You
put you
can't
guys
see
on
the
there.
video because of the way the setup is. Go to YouTube Live and you can see it. By the way, our dad joke of the week from Bill said I went to the paint store to get thinner and it didn't work. Sorry, Bill.
Oh, here's a sad case. This is Rhodey. He just got a pin removed. He was hit by a car.
Oh.
So he's just recovering. So he just came in today.
So
It's
isn't Rhodey kind of an unfortunate name?
I don't know. It's so hard to name the cats. So it is a sad. It's kind of like calling a dog that got hit by a gun shotgun. Here's our lab.
Yeah, that's.
I thought, is there one back
Or call
there?
him Bullet.
Yeah, Bullet. Oh, yeah, there's a dog back here, but I couldn't even hardly see him. A husky.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I see underneath the chair there.
Yeah, you can't barely see him. Up there he
There
comes.
we are. Wow.
These dogs all came today from Arkansas. They're young dogs. I can't remember any of their names. You know, you saw Spot. And then I have one over here
Yeah.
that's whining. And this is called White Sox.
Hey, White Sox.
Oh, geez.
A
White
Bernese
Sox.
mountain dog. There.
Oh
look at
my
that face.
goodness. Oh,
I don't know
Oh,
if you
he's
can hear, but his
adorable.
tail's wagging so hard it's beating up the room.
I'd have to rename him Cubs.
Cubs.
Wrigley. I got friends who's got dogs named Wrigley. That's a great name for a dog.
See, I stirred
There's
him up.
my girl. There's my girl.
There's our cat.
Wasn't
at the
that
feet.
Clarice?
Yes, that was Clarice. Oh, you're getting good.
Yeah.
These were the kittens someone's cleaning their cage now though. So I don't, that's where I stopped last week. We've got our volunteers who are working hard.
Again, apologies to those who are watching on Facebook Live. You got to go over to YouTube to see this now because the camera on Facebook Live can only focus on this handsome mug right here.
Oh, nobody's seeing my video?
On YouTube they are, and this will be obviously recorded like every show is, and so it's available to watch later. So those on Facebook now, just go to the YouTube channel and you can see it there.
My goodness. Hi,
Like and
Freya.
subscribe, like and subscribe, hit that bell, get the notifications.
That's Freya. She thought she was going to get some. Says don't touch, but she seems like she was reaching out to me. So,
Oh,
a tortoise shell. There's one in the back here.
there's a hider back there somewhere.
Yeah, and did you get a good look on? I wanted to look again on the dog that I was holding. Could call her Freckles instead of Spot. Very shy.
Does Spot seem more like a male than a female name? I'm just.
Well, it is a female.
You said female, so I don't know. I think Freckles is a better name for a female.
We'll change her name to Freckles.
That's just me though.
You don't like Road Runner neither, Roadie?
Road is okay. It's a cool name. Look at that.
So
Got your own chair.
Hit Sigan.
Wow. That's a big
What?
cat.
I got hit Sigan for sign.
road sign.
Not Sigan.
You know, the new owners can always rename their cats.
Of course, if you change it too much, they'll wonder what in the world you're doing. So you
Yeah.
gotta find a name that rhymes or something anyway, right? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, she's covering her camera.
I'm back.
There she is. Now you're back.
I'm sorry no one can see my video. That made me sad.
Everyone can see it on YouTube. No, you're okay. You're good.
Oh,
It's just on Facebook. We're doing something different this week because I had an epiphany. I had a
that's kind of scary.
Oh, yes. Which, by the way, in case you can't really tell, this is black, but I have green and yellow lights lighting up my studio right now. It should
It
look.
looks purple to me.
I know it's.
Yeah, it
What
does.
about the little kid?
I should probably put the green in front of me and the yellow behind because the green and the yellow in front of me is so bright. I need makeup. It's like I'm on TV. I need makeup. Gotta
So why is it purple?
all the glare. Why does green and yellow make purple? It should make blue. But blue
Green
and
and
black,
yellow?
blue and black make purple, I guess, right? Maybe
No,
that's-
blue and red make purple.
blue and red make purple. I don't know why it's looking this way, but our show continues to evolve and do different things, and this is what we're doing now. But
No, and I was wondering why you didn't have Bernie Sanders with you.
did you? Oh, you didn't see earlier.
Oh, you had him earlier?
I'll give him to you right now.
Okay.
That's what you were talking about.
Yay! He's a Packer backer.
Not really Bernie Sanders, obviously.
He likes
It is Bernie Sanders.
he likes community owned teams only. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah,
We see
exactly.
Bernie Sanders everywhere.
It's so funny how that took off. Somebody cut his picture out and made it really, really easy for people to make memes out of him. And he's been
Yeah,
everywhere.
there's an app for that.
So
You
Yeah.
can put Bernie Sanders anywhere. My girlfriend has him in her living room.
So, okay, so I am completely confused. Was that really Bernie Sanders? or just some guy that looked like him?
No, that was him.
No, that was Bernie Sanders.
Was he dressed in all the Packer gear?
No. That was
No. Okay.
They changed his clothes.
That was photoshopped on.
Okay. Okay. But you could do that with anybody. Why Bernie? I mean,
Well, he was sitting.
I'm clueless.
funny.
Apparently.
He was sitting at the inauguration all by himself, waiting for it to start. Nobody was sitting with him. He came by himself.
Oh.
And he had those
Okay.
handmade mittens that were humongous.
He
he
had
just-
handmade mittens.
People just took off on it.
So the
Okay.
initial quote, as I understand it, was, "Here's how you dress when you have other things to do that day." Everyone else was all dressed to the nines, right? It was such a big
Okay.
event. And there's Bernie in his down coat and his handmade mittens, and just
I wondered why he didn't have a hat on, though.
he had to be freezing.
Well, he did. He had a cheese hat on.
Oh.
Kudos to everybody who's made all those Bernie memes. They've been hilarious. I think we can stop now, though. That was enough.
Yeah.
We got a big number of the week. Let's do this before we run out of time here.
By the way, Joann, last week I won, by the way, so it should be 4-3, but since you
You
weren't
can't
there,
count that if
I don't know.
didn't
What do
get
you think?
a vote. I protest.
well, you can guess now.
It's still
Well, you can
4-3.
guess now what,
You gave him a point when I was off the air.
He was behind. We gave him a little boost.
yeah, but whose
That's
fault was
fair.
that? Should have charged up your phone. Come on now.
This week's big number.
Now, if you
is-
protest enough, I'm willing to say no, don't worry about it.
if he gets this one wrong, we'll set him back.
All right.
That.
Go ahead.
Okay.
This week's big number is
Ooh,
60,000.
All right,
60,000.
60,000.
60,000. What is the answer? Is it storage or SpaceX? Storage or SpaceX? All right. In 3, 2, 1, give me your answer.
Storage.
Storage.
They're both going for storage. And did you know, per data from PwC and CB Insights, $130 billion is what United States venture capitalists deployed in 2020. That's up 14%, the highest total going back to the year 2000, 147 IPOs over the last year, a big jump from only 90 in 2019. A whole lot of venture capital money spent last year is what that boils down to. We think it's a record. There's an estimated 60,000 storage facilities in the United States.
Did we win?
Yes.
Give me 2 points.
It's not fair. You could still guess for last week. I'm assuming you don't know the answer. So Greg, you should give her the opportunity to guess for last week.
I'm saying,
And if she gets it wrong, then she gets it wrong.
the score is 5-4. We're going to just
All
leave it
right.
there like that. So,
All right, fine.
Now we're not talking about individual storage units. We're talking about storage buildings, and each building has dozens or maybe even hundreds of storage units. We're a nation of hoarders. We all know that already. There's TV shows about how much we hoard in the United States. Our homes, our storage units are filling up. Americans are renting full-sized construction dumpsters to declutter their homes. People are having the giant dumpsters dropped in the driveway. They're filling them with years of stuff accumulated in basements and attics and garages and spare bedrooms. The most in-demand city for storage units is Houston, Texas.
Huh.
Houston, Texas. That's where you're going to find.
Maybe because of all the flooding they've been getting lately.
That might be it. They've had a couple of years of hurricane flooding and stuff, and had to clean out a lot of stuff. That's a good point, Tom. So yeah, we're going to give you both points for that. You're both winners. Congratulations.
All right. All right.
Crowd noise.
Yay.
All right, kids.
All right.
That's going to run us
Greg,
out.
I was going to say once again on the prediction so that next week we know exactly where to find it. I'm going 34-23 Green Bay.
All right.
And
When's the
I'm-
game? Sunday?
It's Sunday afternoon.
Tomorrow.
I'm going 34-24. I'm only going one number off yours, Tom.
Yeah. Joanne, do you want to pick? Just throw out a number.
I'm going to say 35-24, just so I'm different on both.
No, I don't bet on football.
Oh, it's
They
not a
wanna
bet, just a
change-
prediction.
The Foster for White Sox is here and they want to change it to Cubs too.
Oh, good. Cubby, call him Cubby Bear.
Well,
Cubby.
congratulations.
He looks like a bear. He could be a cubby. They didn't like White Sox.
All right, kids, remember you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll meet you back here next week for another Saturday morning Stateline show.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good one. Go Packers.
Stay warm.